This weekend, we saw rioting in Los Angeles against ICE for its efforts to apprehend illegal aliens and employers who were hiring illegal aliens. And the riots started out initially without very many numbers, but then they turned violent. And by violence, I would define that as throwing rocks at cars, torching cars, defacing government buildings, and attacking law enforcement. But here's what's interesting. The mayor, Karen Bass, came down in her public comments on the side of the protesters who were protesting the idea of deportation at all, kind of like Kamala Harris used to march against deportation.
Whether or not there are problems, but we certainly hope that there will not be.
And Gavin Newsom then gave a series of editorializations.
Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes, been here 10 years. The fear, the horror, the hell is this guy?
That I think have ruined his chances ever to be a serious national candidate. He said this was chaotic, this was reckless, and he said that they were just trying to have an arbitrary
These guys need to grow up, they need to stop.
Deportation quota.
And we need to push back, and I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So
Gavin,
Tom, arrest me.
Gavin,
let's go.
12 million people came into the country illegally. That was 3 million a year. That was 250,000 per month. That was over 8,000 a day. They have not been able to deport more than 1,000 on most days, sometimes 500. They would have to deport 8,000 people every single day for 4 years to get back where we were with 20 million illegal aliens when Joe Biden entered office. So it's not a quota, it's an effort to stop an invasion.
Look, Governor Newsom's an embarrassment for the state. Look, he's the one that's feeding this mantra. He supports sanctuary cities. He supports sanctuary laws.
It's a very funny invasion because now Gavin is mad that they nationalized the California Guard. Trump has that ability. And people said, no president, they have to request it. No, they don't. You think that JFK said to George Wallace when he nationalized the Alabama National Guard, said, would you please let us nationalize your guard so you can be removed from stopping African American people going to the University of Alabama? No. I'll just give a word of advice. You're going to lose the optics, Democrats, left, and immigration protesters if you have a lot of people here illegally and they're waving the American, not the American flag, but the Mexican flag as they're committing acts of violence. Think of the logic. I am waving the flag of the country under no circumstances I want to return, but I am attacking the officers and the infrastructure of the country that under every circumstance I want to stay in. That might explain why in the midst of all of this negative publicity, a CBS poll taken to show that people were outraged showed that just the opposite. 54% of the American people are for continued deportations.
Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn.
So you know what is really reckless, Gavin? You know what is chaotic? Is you. You did not intervene to stop the violence. Donald Trump does not want to see a May, June, July, August, September 2020. $2 billion in property damage, 35 people killed, 1,500 officers assaulted, $14,000 arrest, precinct burned, courthouse burned, historic church burned. He doesn't want to see that. And you're egging this on. And you think it's going to be peaceful when people throw rocks at cars, innocent bystanders, and people wave the flag as they burn things? The Mexican flag of a foreign country? You undermining your own argument. And what is your argument? I don't know what it is. What is your argument, Karen Bass, your mayor? Now that you're not in Ghana and you're here in the United States during a burning, is it burning is okay, whether it's burning a car or burning a whole neighborhood down, and you don't act?
It's pretty bad.
That's a different question, but I just want to just state for the record that what did happen in 1992 was so different from what we're seeing now. I mean, that was a real riot.
And apparently, they saw a different riot, and they were more in charge of that area of the rioting than the Los Angeles Police Department. I guess Mayor Bass they're scared, the LA police chief and the police hierarchy, because they see that when the fire chief objected to Mayor Bass being on, I don't know, a junket, or the deputy mayor being arrested for phoning in a bomb threat, or the water and power director leaving a reservoir that was critical to the survival of Pacific Palisades empty and unattended for months, and fire hydrants not working, and they fired her. So I guess this police chief says, if I tell the truth that these people are violent and they are assaulting officers, and the mayor is doing nothing and the governor is doing nothing, I will be fired. So I will lie and say I am really impressed by the restraint of the protesters. Final bottom line, if you take an oath to enforce the laws of your state or the country, and you see people swarming detention centers, swarming the streets, obstructing traffic, burning cars, trying to injure people with rocks, and you do nothing, then you are forsaking your oath of office. And secondly, Mayor Bass, Governor Newsom, would you please tell us, what is your position on 12 million people who entered the United States illegally, who are residing illegally at a time when the country is running a $2 trillion deficit, and your state at one point recently owed $75 billion that it did not have? What is your solution? Is it to let 1 more million in, 3 more million in, 5 more million in? What is it? What is your solution to find the 300 to 500,000 people believed to have criminal records? Just tell us. What is your solution? What is your solution when you have apparently violent protesters waving the flag of a foreign national country as a way of persuading us that we should not deport them, when they are burning things and committing violence about the country they want to stay in, but waving the flag of the country they do not want to return to? What is the position of the Mexican government? Because I can tell you that there is a bill right now, the big beautiful bill that will tax remittances, the $63 billion. And all this is going to do is give rise to voices who will say, I think we need a higher percentage to tax these remittances, because they're not getting the message. The people who are demonstrating and violent apparently think that we're going to subsidize them with social services to free up money so they can send to Mexico on tax $63 billion, their greatest source of foreign exchange, while they run a $170 billion trade surplus. Why the cartels between 60 and 80,000 Americans? That's an unsustainable situation, as are these riots. Bottom line, I think, Gavin Newsom, you took your recent effort to be moderate, centrist, your podcast, and you lit a fuse and you blew it up. Nobody in their right mind would ever vote for you for anything after you went into a volatile, dangerous situation and tried to pour gasoline on it by essentially saying you, the governor, will not do anything to restore order or quiet, and you sided with people who are committing violence against their fellow residents of Los Angeles.
This weekend, Los Angeles burned. Not from wildfire, but from willful neglect. Streets erupted in chaos. Protesters, no rioters, threw rocks, torched vehicles, defaced public buildings, and assaulted police. And as the smoke rose into the California sky, something became crystal clear. Leadership didn't just fail, it sided with the fire. Do we deport criminals or embrace them? Do we uphold law or abandon it? Do we reward legal entry or encourage illegal crossings? You cannot pour gasoline on civil unrest and then pretend to be shocked when it burns. You cannot abandon law enforcement, then blame them when cities fall apart. You cannot promise both open borders and social services and expect the system not to collapse. So we return to the only question that matters. What is your solution? Because time is running out, and silence is no longer an option.